Hello and welcome to my channel VMNet. My channel offers a lot of things, from songs to solutions to help heal some medical conditions, and today I'd like to offer you 2 natural solutions to get rid of seborrheic dermatitis. Now, for those of you who have it, no need to explain, but for the others, you may feel you have dandruff, dry skin, spots or zits in your hair, on your face, or both that won't go away, and you may also have very greasy hair. Now, this is a condition caused by fungus, and it usually affects your scalp, your hair, your face, and it's very difficult to get rid of it. The reason why I'm offering 2 natural solutions to you today is first because I'm allergic to so many things that I must stick to natural remedies. Secondly, I had a lot of feedback from people who told me that although they used medical shampoos and cortisone-based creams on their faces, they didn't manage to get rid of it. For those who are in America, I'm going to be using the metric system. I'm in France, in Europe. So just for you to know, I'll be talking about 1 litre, which is roughly 0.26 gallons. I've already made 2 videos in French on this topic, and my God, the feedback has been incredible. A lot of people managed to treat their seborrheic dermatitis, and I'm so happy whenever I receive a message. I always reply to everyone as much as I can, and you know, I'm doing this really to help people because I was affected by this condition all over my scalp, even on my neck, all over my hair, all over my face, and now, as you can see, I hope, well, my hair is clean, my face is clean, it's never been better. So here we go, enough talking. Glasses on, sorry. When I sing, I don't put them on, but for this, I have to. We're going to need 2 main ingredients. Number 1, salts from the Dead Sea. I hope you can see. Number 2, apple cider vinegar. This is a French version, obviously. It doesn't matter which kind you get, as long as it's not pasteurized. And what we are going to do is we're going to use the vinegar to treat the seborrheic dermatitis on the scalp and hair, and we'll use the sea salts to treat it on your face and in your ears and wherever else you might be affected by this condition. So it's really very simple, it's not magic. I did a lot of research, as I said, for many months on the internet, and this really worked for me. Believe me, I tried a lot of treatments and this works. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take a water bottle. It has to be bottled water, do not use tap water. And we need 1 litre of water. So usually bottles contain a little more. So 1 litre again is about 0.26 gallons. You can check on the internet to convert it properly. And what we're going to do first is dilute our apple cider vinegar into this bottle. And how much do we need, you're going to ask me? Well, you know, it doesn't matter exactly, but let's say that for 1 litre of water, 1 litre is about, you know, until here. You'll put about this much vinegar in it. Usually you have lines on bottles. If you use the lines, you can use 4 lines of vinegar and the rest will be water. And all this must make 1 litre. I have some I prepared for myself quite a while ago, so I no longer have 1 litre in it, but you end up, you know, with something that looks like this. I strongly suggest that you remove the label, which I haven't done, but in case you have, you know, young children at home, you don't want them to play with this. It's not something that they should be drinking, okay? We're going to add about 10 drops of essential oil. We're going to use tea tree oil. Why tea tree oil? because tea tree oil is antibacterial. It works really well against fungus. So all you do, once you've put your 4 lines roughly of apple cider vinegar in your bottle of water, you're going to simply add 10 drops. I'm going to do it now because I have got some inside. Put 10 drops in, shake it, your vinegar is ready. Okay, what do we do with it now? Well, we need to apply it all over our scalps. It's not easy when you have long hair, but it's feasible. Best thing to do, let me get rid of my glasses here, is to use a t-shirt, an old t-shirt preferably. And what you do is you put the t-shirt around yourself, as I'm doing now, and you can use a glove or your hand, it's up to you, and you apply the vinegar. So it's best to use a glove. Not every country has them. It's not always easy to find. This is a glove, okay? Otherwise, you can use a flannel. What you could do is sew the flannel so that you can put your hand in it if you can't find a glove. The glove is more practical because you're going to need to apply a lot of vinegar. You really need to soak your hair and your scalp in it. And it helps also because apple cider vinegar tends to sort of stain your hands a little. You have to really wash your hands well afterwards. So you apply this everywhere, all over your scalp, really, really thoroughly. If you have long hair like myself, you may need to get to the roots first and apply it. And then you apply it to the rest of your hair. And once this is done, you take your t-shirt. I'm going to look really strange, I know. You can laugh, you may laugh. And you wrap your hair in it and wait 20 to 30 minutes. After that, you wash your hair, you rinse it only with water. You can use tap water, but do not use shampoo, especially not at the beginning. So this is the treatment with apple cider vinegar. But I forgot to mention something really, really important. Before you start doing your first treatment, you will need to use the salts from the Dead Sea. Simply to scrub whatever dry skin you have in your hair. So you'll simply take it. I'll show you what it looks like. It's sort of, you know, it looks greasy-ish a little. The grains are quite big. It looks a bit like rice. You use it all over your scalp. Don't scrub too harshly, please. You don't want to hurt yourself. Just scrub off whatever wants to, you know, to go. Just scrub it off. Once you've done that, you can start using the solution with apple cider vinegar. You're going to need to use it every single day for 20 to 30 minutes. It may take up to a month to really get rid of your seborrheic dermatitis, but it works for most people, a lot of people. It worked for me. Again, I got a lot of feedback. You can check my videos if you speak French and you'll see the number of people who are so happy to have got rid of it. It really does work. Now, during the first few days, so 3 or 4 days, you may feel like your spots or zits are getting worse. You may feel a little sore. This is completely normal. But during the first few days, please do not use any kind of shampoo. Now, obviously, at some point, you're going to have to use shampoo. You'll need to find a shampoo which has very, very few ingredients. Try to use something organic, really organic. If you can find something with 3 or 4 ingredients, it's best. We don't want something greasy because the idea is to get rid of the grease in your hair and at the same time treat the fungus. So try to find something very gentle for your hair and use it at first once, twice a week maximum. Yes, it's enough because apple cider vinegar anti-tree oil is antibacterial. It kills all the germs, so you don't need to worry about that. And also, did you know that apple cider vinegar has been used for centuries to make your hair look really strong and beautiful? Now, the second treatment we're going to use is based on the salts from the Dead Sea. Dead Sea salts are remarkable. They are chock-a-block full of wonderful things that are going to help get rid of seborrheic dermatitis on your face, in your ears, in your eyebrows, eyelashes even. It's full of magnesium, potassium, calcium, and many other traces of minerals. So you cannot use normal salt, it will not work. This is specific to the Dead Sea salts. And as you may know, in America especially, there are centers which offer such treatments. They use sea salts and water, and people go there and they lie in the water to get rid of their skin diseases, because Dead Sea salts can treat, of course, seborrheic dermatitis, but they treat a lot of other conditions. They may help your acne, any spots you have, and even more medical conditions. You can check it out on the internet. So the principle is exactly the same. Again, we'll use a bottle, remember bottled water, 1 liter, 0.26 gallons, and we're going to make seawater. Seawater contains roughly 30 to 35 grams of salt. So what we're going to do is use a tablespoon, which is 10 grams, and we're going to use 3.5 tablespoons, which we are going to add to this bottle. So make sure you have about 1 liter of water, and then use a funnel and add the salt. I don't have a funnel here, but let's pretend I have one, okay? You just add your salt, 3.5 tablespoons, okay? And then you shake until the salt has dissolved. Some people told me, hold on, if I go to the Dead Sea, the concentration in salt is much higher because you can lie on that sea. This is completely correct, but we don't need such a concentration for it to work. So 3.5 tablespoons in 1 liter of bottled water is sufficient. And then you'll do exactly the same thing, but this time for your face, for your ears, your eyebrows, even your eyelashes. This is really just like using seawater. So this is as if you were going to swim and put your head on the water. It's not something harmful. Of course, you can avoid putting it in your eyes because it may sting as seawater stings. So you end up with something looking very much like water, except it's full of salts. And again, you'll put on the t-shirt. I'll show you again, because a lot of people said to me, it's so messy, what am I going to do? Not to, have it all over myself and get wet. And we proceed exactly in the same way. All over your face. Soak it well. Insist around your eyebrows. You can put some on your eyelashes if you want to. It may sting a bit if it goes in your eyes, but it's not dangerous. In your ears, inside and behind as well. And wherever you feel you may need this solution to get rid of seborrheic dermatitis. Once this is done, same principle, wrap your hair up in a t-shirt and wait for about 20 to 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, rinse with tap water. Rinse really well. After about 3 days, your skin will start feeling soft. The first 3 days can be difficult. You may feel, that you have pink patches showing. This is because the squamous skin is actually going. So underneath you find new clean skin, which looks sort of rosy, pinky, at the beginning. Now, regarding face creams, at first try not to use any, especially not for the first few days. This may not be always possible. If you live in a country which is very cold, you will need a face cream. You have to use something with little ingredients, something which is organic. I've got some creams which you can probably find all over the world here. This is a cold cream from a French laboratory called La Roche-Posay. It's actually very greasy, so it is to be used in very small amounts, but it has only 3 ingredients, which is quite good. Another cream which I really like is by the laboratory Avène, and it's a cream specifically designed for skin which are very, very irritable and sensitive. Try to use something with little ingredients for very irritated and sensitive skins. Baby products do not work terribly well. A lot of them have many chemicals and a lot of ingredients, so I suggest that you really look, you really check what's written on the cream, and you use something very simple. Now, how to apply the cream onto your skin. Please, no massages, no rubbing, just, dab gently and in small amounts wherever you need the cream. I also forgot to mention one thing. When you dry your skin or your hair, please do not rub. Do not rub. Again, dab. This is very important for your recovery. You don't want to irritate your skin. This is it. This is all that's needed. For your face, it may take also about a month. Some people are completely freed of seborrheic dermatitis after 3 days. In my case, it took roughly 1 month. Once it's under control, what you need to do is use the vinegar on your hair and the sea salts once to twice a week. If you feel it's sort of stable, once to twice a week is usually enough. Now, these treatments work for most people. I'd like to mention a bit more about face creams. You can also use pure organic aloe vera, which is quite good on the skin. And if your skin is very, very dry, you can mix it with a few drops of sweet almond oil. But again, don't grease your skin too much, because we're trying to get rid of that fungus which makes your skin really greasy and gives this squamous look. So don't hesitate to leave me a message in the comments. I try to reply to every single person. So remember, all you need really is apple cider vinegar, non-pasteurized. I think there is 5% acidity in this one. It needs to be kept in the fridge, by the way. Dead sea salts. In France, we get them from organic stores. You can get them on the internet too. Just make sure they are pure, so all they contain is sea salts and nothing else. You want to keep this really, really simple. So we use tea tree oil for the vinegar, and that's about it. And don't hesitate again if you have any questions. I wish you a good treatment. It works. It is very rare that it won't work. If it doesn't work, it usually means that you have another condition. So of course, before you do any kind of treatment, you need to make sure with your doctor that you know what you have. If your condition is seborrheic dermatitis, try these 2 natural solutions and get back to me within a month. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video. If you need more advice, I will be making more videos on different topics, including this one. I suggest that you activate the bell so that you're aware of when I make a new video. My videos, as I mentioned at the beginning, are to do with medical conditions, mostly anything to do with allergies, natural treatments, organic treatments, Also levothyroxine, and when you've had thyroid cancer like myself, it's a nightmare to find a medicine which is suitable. So I'm going to be making more videos in English on this topic too. And of course, if you feel anxious, go and view my videos on anxiety. I'll be making a lot more in English shortly. And to relax, listen to my singing. Sometimes I'll make duets, sometimes I sing on my own. Okay guys, see you next time. Don't forget VMNet. Subscribe, like, but first try this treatment and get back to me.